Hey everyone, and welcome back to another puppet making tutorial. Today we're going to be showing you how we make the Snozzlepuss head shape and also the fabric pattern process that comes along with it, because the Snoz is very special in the way that the foam version of it looks completely different than the fabric version. And you'll see more of that as the tutorial goes on. Here is a quick little rundown of all the things that you're going to need. Feel free to pause here if you need a little bit more time to read the screen, but the full foam and fabric pattern is available as a download in our description box if you would like to make your own of this puppet. And there is a complete detailed walkthrough along with all of the PDF instructions. But this video is a good accompaniment to that, just in case you're a visual learner and you would like to sort of make a puppet alongside the video version of one being made. I know that that's how I like to learn anyway, so I thought this video would be really helpful. So let's get started making our Snoz head shape. So first of all, we're going to cut all of the patterns out using A4 paper and scissors. And before we get started on any foam work, you're going to want to fold the mouthplate template in half both ways so that there are two intersecting lines on the paper mouthplate, just like that. So you're able to mark the halfway points on the foam, so halfway on the side and halfway at the top. Just like that, so you should have 4 marking lines when you transfer the pattern onto foam. Now for the foam we use 15mm reticulated foam, but upholstery foam works fine, or any kind of foam that you have available. Especially if you're starting out, don't be intimidated by specialist materials. You definitely don't need them when you're just starting out. To cut out the foam you can use scissors, you can use a blade. We tend to use a bandsaw just because we cut a high volume of foam every single day, and so it's just really efficient. But again, a pair of scissors, anything you have available, a craft knife, just something like that would work really well to cut through the foam. And again, you don't have to be perfectly precise with this. It's okay if the lines are a little bit uneven, just as long as the general shape and those 4 marking lines are left in place, because you're going to need those later on. And again, this is where the Snoz pattern differs from most of our foam patterns, because we actually have a foam mouthplate that's going to be strengthened later on with a more solid one. But for now, we need to glue that foam to a piece of fleece. So cut a piece of fleece any colour you want that would be the inside of the mouthplate, so you can have black or red or pink or anything that goes with your colour scheme. We prefer to use black just because it's nice and neutral and all of the features inside the mouth will stand out really nicely against it. So we're going to use some contact adhesive to glue that piece of foam to the piece of fleece. Now, please remember not to glue exactly to the edge, leave a little bit of a border, because when the glue dries, it's going to be really difficult to sew through, and again, you need to sew this into the puppet's head later on when we get to the fabric stage. So add your contact adhesive to both sides, the fleece and the foam, again leaving a little bit of a gap around the outside, and then once that glue is tacky, press the 2 pieces together. Then you can trim around the edge of the fleece, leaving just again a slight border that you will need for later on with the sewing section. Once that's cut out, you can put that to the side, and we're going to move on to the foam for the skull. So again, you would have cut out the paper pattern for the head shape. We're going to be using the 15mm reticulated foam, but any foam that you can get your hands on will work fine. And then repeat that same process for the cheek insert pieces of foam. Again, you're going to need 2, 1 for each side of the puppet's mouth, and just draw around the pattern, cut it out, and then we're going to be ready to start gluing the foam head shape together. So now the real fun begins. So at this point you should have the foam mouthplate with the fleece glued on, 2 pieces of the foam skull and 2 cheek inserts. And now we're going to start gluing everything together with our contact adhesive. We personally use Evo Stick contact adhesive, but any will work. And you're going to add the glue from the top of the puppet's mouth, but not in the mouthplate. So the top where it joins the head, and then all the way back to the neck, and then the chin piece as well. You'll be able to see in just a moment exactly which sections were glued together and which ones you need to leave for a moment. Then you're also going to add the glue to the cheek sections. Now with contact adhesive, you want it to feel slightly dry to the touch. You definitely don't want it to feel wet before you start pressing it together, because it won't be ready yet and it will just peel apart. So start gently pressing all of those seams together, just making sure that everything lines up. You can really take your time with this, there's absolutely no rush, just to make sure that the shape is right. So we're going to press both sides of the puppet's face together, again leaving the mouth plate open. We're going to glue in the cheek sections. And just make sure with this that you start by gluing the sides of the cheek first, and then try and feed the rest of the cheek into the space. So this is what you should have so far, and as you can see, the neck section and the mouth section are still free of glue, so everything else should be glued together. And now we're going to move on to the fabric section. So you're going to have two sections for the fabric. You're going to have the main face of the puppet, and then you're going to have this little extended bit on the pattern for the nose, because it wouldn't all fit on an A4 piece of paper. But we have a marked line where you're going to attach those two bits of paper together. And then we also have an optional extra, which is the ear. Obviously this is going to depend on the type of puppet that you're making with this pattern. You could add horns, you could add hair. We always tend to add ears just because we really like the look that gives the character, and we normally make a foam base for the ears before sewing it out of the fabric. But this pattern is just a base and you can do whatever you want. So again, the ears are just an optional extra. So you're going to want to cut out all of the paper patterns and then attach those two pieces of the nose and the head together. And also, once you get a little bit more confident with this pattern, you can transfer it to something a little bit more sturdy, just in case you want to make several of these and the paper isn't going to last. So you can transfer this onto wood. We've made a lot of wooden patterns. We sometimes 3D print our patterns that we use a lot of. Just anything in like a sturdier material. But once those two bits of the nose are taped together, you now have your fabric pattern. Now, to cover our puppet, today we're going to use polar fleece, but you can use any selection of material just as long as it has a nice stretch to it. We've used Antron, Fazelle, F3, Nyla fleece, just anything, but today we're using polar fleece because it is really reasonably priced and also really readily available. So it would be a good example for something pretty cheap and easy to get a hold of that you can make your first puppet out of. Now you're going to want the stretch of the fabric to go across the mouth plate and across the neck. So just make sure when you are lining up the pattern on your fabric that the stretch of it is going across the puppet's head and not down the puppet's nose. That's going to help a lot later on once the sewing section comes in and then you're attaching the two parts together. And you're also going to want to flip your pattern, so just make sure that you're getting both sides of the pattern when you're drawing it on your fabric. So that will make sure that the right side is being sewn together so that you don't have any differences in the texture. So now cut out your fabric pattern, give yourself a small seam allowance, however much you're comfortable with. Make sure that you're following the shape of the pattern, but again, just give yourself how much you think you're going to need to sew it, apart from the mouth section and the neck section. You're going to want to cut those bits pretty exactly. Do that to both sides and you should be left with something that looks like this. Now, when you press these two pieces of the pattern together, of course, make sure that they are mirroring each other, again, as closely as you can get. And now the sewing section begins. So you're going to want to follow the same pattern as the foam, basically. So do not sew the mouth plate closed and do not sew the neck section closed, but follow the edges of the rest of the pattern. So down the puppet, along the neck, and all the way back to the mouth plate. But stop at the mouth plate. Do not sew the puppet's mouth shut. You don't know how many times we have sewn this pattern wrong and we've had to unpick all of the stitches, so I'm trying to save you. Now moving on to the foam and fleece mouth plate that we made before. The glue should be nice and dry, so just drag those markings that you made earlier indicating each side of the mouth plate, just so that everything is nice and visible, so you can line up the mouth plate in that mouth section as you're sewing it together. So those are going to indicate the tops and the sides, and this is definitely the trickiest part of bringing this puppet to life. So feel free to rewatch this as many times as you need, or send us any questions that you may have, send us an email. The fleece of the puppet's head at this point is turned inside out, so this is how you're going to sew it together. And we're going to sew this mouth plate a section at a time, so one of those quarters that we've measured out on the mouth plate, with the black fleece section facing inside, so that when you turn it right side out, the mouth plate will be the right way around. So again, watch this part as slowly as you need to, and really spend some time lining these parts up. So the top of the mouth plate to the corner, and just sew it in short sections like that, with the fleece of the puppet's head turned inside out. And as you've passed one section through, line up the bottom of the mouth plate with the bottom line that we measured, and sew that section together as well. So you should be left with something that looks like this. The foam and the fleece is sewn inside the head. Feel free to leave us a comment if you need any more clarification on that process. But now we're going to move on to finishing the mouth plate. So whilst leaving the head still inside out, you're going to take your mouth plate pattern again, and you're going to cut that out twice in some sort of stronger material. So we can have cardboard, we can have plastic, we can have wood, a 3D printed version, whatever you have available to make your mouth plate out of. We've used all of these in the past and they are all perfectly acceptable. If this is your first ever puppet, then something really cheap and easy that you may already have at home, like an ice cream tub lid. Again, don't be intimidated by the need for specialist materials. And you may find a material that works best for you that no one has ever tried, so go ahead and just have a little bit of fun. Today we're going to use 3mm plywood that we cut out on our bandsaw. And then you're going to glue those onto each section of the mouth plate, making sure to leave a space in between so that the puppet's mouth can open and close freely. You don't want them glued right up next to each other because that's going to make it too difficult to operate the mouth. So again, using your contact adhesive, you're just going to measure out the space where the wooden mouth plate is going to sit, glue those in place with a little bit of a gap in between. Same thing as before with the contact adhesive, you want to let it be nearly dry to the touch. You don't want it to be tacky or wet, you just want to make sure that it is nice and set, and then glue those pieces in place. Make sure they're pressed down nice and firmly, and then just test out the movement of the mouth and make sure you've given yourself enough space. Now moving on to another little optional extra that we've included in the pattern, which is a mouth strap. Just using a little bit of foam and some fleece, you can create this fabric mouth strap, which if you watch any of our online content, you know that we call these forbidden ice cream sandwiches because that is what they look like. But these can be added to the mouth plate and they just really help. Again, especially if you're a beginner, but they just really help keep your hand in the right place. They give you something to sort of push against as you're opening and closing the mouth, and they can just make the whole thing a lot more comfortable. They're definitely not essential, but we would recommend adding these if you can. So cut out your strip of foam, give yourself enough fabric to cover them, again with your contact adhesive. The softer and the more comfortable the fabric, the better, of course. You don't want your hand rubbing against something scratchy or rough. So we just use the softest fleece available. Sometimes that's Nyla fleece, sometimes that's old scraps of Antron. And it's also a great way to use up pieces of fleece that aren't big enough to make a puppet with, and so none of that gets thrown away. They all get turned into little mouth straps for puppets. And as you can see here, we've given ourselves a bigger space than the flat of it, just so that we can curl it around, and 3 out of the 4 sides of the mouthstrap are covered in the soft fleece. Now add some glue to either side of the mouth plate. This is where you're going to attach those foam straps by gluing the bottom bare piece of the foam. Again, waiting until the glue is dry and then folding them over. You can make these any size you want, again depending on the size of your hand. If you have really small hands, you'll of course want these straps to be smaller and tighter, so you can always alter the size of that foam pattern that we included based on the project and based on the puppeteer. Once those are glued in place, you're going to want to fold the mouth plate in half and score the back of the foam that's in between the 2 pieces of wood with a blade. Don't cut all the way through because you'll cut through the black fleece of the mouth plate, but just score about halfway through the foam so that it gives it some more movement and some freedom to open and close. Now we're going to glue that mouth plate into the puppet's head finally. So you're going to want to add glue to the top of the mouth plate. We prefer to do this in one section at a time just so that things don't get too messy. So add glue to the top part of the wooden mouth plate and press those together, gluing it down to the corner of the cheek. Make sure that's pressed firmly in place before you move on to gluing the bottom section to the bottom section of the mouth plate. Now, of course, the fleece, the fabric, is still inside out at this point. But once everything is glued together, we finally get the unfurling. So hold the mouth plate firmly and sort of pull the fabric back until it reaches the bottom of the foam where it's going to meet the neck. This can take a little bit of time just getting everything in the right position, but now we have the nose and it's empty, so of course we're going to need some stuffing. You can use wadding, you can use pillow stuffing, but you're going to put your hand between the fabric and the foam of the skull and you're just going to press the stuffing into the puppet's nose. You can do this with a tool instead if you can't do it with your hand. Sometimes we press it in with like a pen, anything like that really, but you can make this as full as you want. You can leave it sort of half empty if your character is sort of more silly or goofy or sleepy. Again, you can just make this however you would like it. Now we have the optional extra of the ears as well, which we're going to cut out with the same green fleece. Make sure to double up on your fabric for both sides of the ear, and then we're going to sew that together, of course, on the sewing machine, leaving the bottom of the ear, the flat at the bottom of the ear, open because we're going to want to add the foam base inside. Cut those out once they're sewn together, turn them the right side out, and then you can add in the piece of foam that we've cut for the ears as well. You can make this slightly smaller, slightly larger, it depends on the stretch of your fabric again. Sometimes we like to pinch the ears as well and sort of sew them folded over at the bottom just because that's a really fun shape. But then we're going to add those onto our puppet. So we're going to hand sew these in place, but again, you could glue these if you wanted to. You could use some hot glue and just attach them. We're going to pin them in place and then hand sew the seams together. And now you can really see this puppet coming together. We have the exaggerated long animal style nose, the really fun exaggerated ears. This is just such a fun head pattern to bring to life, and it could now turn into absolutely anything. So you can now add the eyes, you can use ping pong balls, you could use dots, you could use buttons, anything you want. We actually 3D print all of our own features and eyes that we've developed over the years that fit our patterns. So we have these really fun cartoon style dots with a forward facing focus, which we're going to add. I always think dot style eyes work really well with the Snoz pattern, and we have these screw backs that we've developed that help you move and position them just in case they're not in quite the right position. You can change them. But you can hot glue on some ping pong balls, draw on a pupil with a big marker pen, anything you want to do basically. You can add teeth, a tongue, you can add horns, you can not even give them eyes. Puppetry means you can make this however you want it to look. We always like there to be a little bit of fluff and fur with a Snoz puppet, especially in the ears and on the body. So we're just going to add a triangle of faux fur in like a contrasting green colour. And we're going to hot glue that in place. You could use contact adhesive, you could sew the fur, but it's easy to just glue it all together. And then again, from there, you can add any features you would like. And this puppet really starts to come together as such a bright, colourful, fun character. We're also going to glue in a bright red fleecy puppet tongue because I feel like every puppet needs a tongue. And then a little pair of 3D printed puppet fangs as well. Those can just be hot glued in place. And again, really flex your creative muscles. You can do whatever you want. This is a really fun base puppet, but you can make and remake this character until you find something that you really like. I can't even count how many Snoz puppets we've made over the years. It must be at least 50, if not more. And every single one looks different. They all come out different characters and they are just so much fun. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I really, really hope it was informative. Leave any questions you may have in the comments and we'll try and answer them as soon as possible. This pattern was actually chosen by our Patreon members as the next one that we would release as a tutorial. So if you enjoy our content and you would like a say in the next pattern that we release, head over to our Patreon. There's lots of fun perks over there, plus you get access to our Discord server where we can answer even more questions. The support would really mean so much, and thank you for watching. We will see you very, very soon. Don't forget, new episodes of Roll for Puppet every single Friday as well. So basically, if you like puppet content, we're your guys.